Tell me about a kid that you were totally surprised you had written him off and passed over maybe, and all of a sudden, they made it, or they made it a lot further than they thought. Is there a surprise there that you missed out on?
That we missed out on, like that went somewhere else?
Yeah. Somebody that just got left off the list, and then it was a bad decision.
I would say maybe last year might have been Zach LaFave. That was a touchy one because he was a Quebec player, and we told him to go back, have a great year. They were very disappointed because he wanted him to play junior hockey. So Zach went and had a great year, and went and he's played. I think he was his rights were with Val-d'Or because he was a Temiskaming kid, and he went to. I think Gatineau owns his rights, but now he's playing in Hawkesbury in the CCHL. So that's probably one that I would say recently, the one that got away. We probably could have kept him last year, but he was young. There was the risk of that we wouldn't win an appeal to get him to play here because he would have had to appeal because he's from Quebec. And we couldn't even AP him last year, which is the other tough thing when you have a kid from Temiskaming playing in Ontario. They can't affiliate with the junior A team in Ontario.
Yeah, so he didn't really get a chance.
So that would be one recently, So I try not to think of the ones that.
I know that's why I asked, right? So well, tell me about a kid that you took a chance on that proved you right. I know you remember those better.
You know what I mean? I think recently a guy like Seiji Martone this year. Like Seiji came in last year around December and was fighting in the bottom six for ice time. Played, I think, maybe even playing on the fourth line last year. And here he is as a 20-year-old this year, and he's on the probably the best line in the NOJHL with Greg. Actually, now Greg's not on that line. Now it's Thomas Yachmanev. Parker Bowman and Seiji, but then before that it was Seiji, Gregory Trudeau-Piquet, and Parker Bowman. So I would say Seiji would be one
Where's
that
he
definitely
from?
comes. He's a Montreal kid. His dad actually played at Concordia with Randy Edmonds and Mark Kostrick. Mark Kostrick comes and watches our games because his buddy's son's on the Voodoo. So that's kind of once again one of those small, and that had nothing to do. Mark Kostrick didn't call me and say, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We should go get this kid.
So it just happened.
Yeah. So it was good, and then I think most recent too, like I said, Jack Craycroft, the guy got cut in December and came in. We don't usually ever. I can't remember getting a kid that good that was cut. He was outright released from a team and he didn't get traded. And
where did he get cut from?
He was Flin Flon Bombers. So came from Iowa and joined us on a road trip in late December, and he's been a real pleasant surprise. And I just usually you get these guys that come in, and I think mainly the strategy when you bring guys in is you want to bring guys in to push players down, right? You don't want to bring a player in to push somebody up. You want to bring somebody in to push people down, right? And as well creates more competition for ice time too. When you bring good players in, when you bring bad ones in, it doesn't. So yeah, he's another a real surprise. Usually don't get a mid-season cut that would be as good as Jack Craycroft is this year for us. So.
Throughout your career as a manager, which would be the one trade that you managed that you should have gotten an award for?
Trade that I...
Yeah, a trade.
That's a...
Your best trade ever.
Boy, oh boy, I'm trying to think which one that would be. You know what? I'm going to go back to 2013, and it was a cash deal for a very small amount of money, and it was for Brendan Dubchek, who was a big part of our championship team. We paid, I think, a development fee of $2,500, which is for a bottom six forward, and Brendan Dubchek had a incredible year. So that one was a big one. Getting him, yes, absolutely.
Oh, cool. Any time where you brought a local kid back that was a real big bonus that you wouldn't have expected? Somebody that you got mid-season?
Mid-season, I'm trying to think here. Unless you're leading me into somebody and it's escaping me. I mean, Joe Whitted was a pleasant surprise.
Oh,
That we picked him up in the summertime 2 years ago as part of the deal to get Harrison Israels, and you know what, he's been a real good local guy. I think probably
Mr. Marchand.
What's that?
He likes
Yes.
Marchand, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
he plays like him. He does well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Kate Sagan was another good one that there was a lot of different options for him
Yep.
at the time, and he ended up being like had a tremendous year for us and went on to play with the Knights.
Yeah, I was a
after
big
that.
fan of his. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked watching.
He was like I remember Darren Turcotte used to tell me, because Darren used to skate with him in the summer, and he told me he's like a pit bull on skates. That's how he was described. And some of the big hits he would do, like he could score the big hits. Like he was really, in that 2012-13 year, he was really, really fun to watch.
Yeah, it was too bad that series with the Sioux took everything out of you guys. You really couldn't do much once the
you know
the
what?
hell out of you guys, right?
And you know what? We did that, and we had that game 5 on home ice. We had a lead in the third period, and the Sioux came back late and forced. And literally, we were getting on the bus for the Sioux right from the building, whereas we were, getting ready to, maybe bring the cup out onto the ice. So I mean, that's pretty crazy. Instead of having a celebration in game 5, you're jumping on a bus to Sault Ste. Marie.
Yeah.
And had to play the next game. Then,
well, how did that game
6,
get out of your hands? You remember?
I just think that we just kind of let off the gas.
Was
Try
it
to
like
forget those
San
games, right?
Francisco?
What's that?
Well, it's like the 49ers.
Yes,
They were
yeah.
celebrating 4.5 minutes left in the game.
Oh,
right?
no, it's
You can't celebrate before the final
Nope.
whistle, right?
And then we went to overtime in game 6, and I remember Robert Mazuka saying, "Here, get stuff ready if you're going to talk at the mic for the team." And you're like, "I don't want to look at this stuff. We haven't won yet."
It's a
Right?
curse.
I'll do that right after. And then wouldn't you know it, the Sioux scored in overtime, and then we had to come back to North Bay I was just actually watching game 7. Hockey TV just uploaded because Hockey TV is the platform that almost all Junior A programs use to broadcast games online. They took it over from Fast Hockey, which was the platform that was used back when the Trappers were in. And I just ended up finding it because that was before they didn't have those old games in there. Now they do.